My therapist told me to leave my husband in our first session. I'm not sure what to do with this information and I'm just trying to process. My husband and I have been together for nearly 15 years and have 4 children together. We're on the edge of divorce. He doesn't want it. I'm trying to believe that we can make this work. We are beginning marriage counseling, and the requirement for said therapist was solo sessions as well, understandably. We met together once as a couple first, then my husband has a solo session, comes home and says it was mostly him sharing, and the therapist said very little besides asking some questions. I had my solo session and I don't know how to feel right now. She told me to leave. It's our first session together. She interrupted me mid-sentence and said, I know that we aren't supposed to do this, but I have to stop you and say this. You have to leave. This doesn't get better. What you're describing is gaslighting, manipulation, and abuse tactics. I can't diagnose him officially, but this sounds like narcissism, and narcissists don't believe that they're narcissistic. I was married to a man like this and he doesn't change. I thought that I would feel relieved to have been validated, but it just felt like a gut punch. She went on to say, you're a giver by nature and he's a taker. He will only ever take until you have nothing left to give. There was a bit more and she ended on, I can see that you aren't ready to leave yet. Do you want to make a joint session appointment? I told her that I needed some time to process. I don't know if I'm ready to say that we've tried everything, but now I don't know how to continue marriage counseling with this therapist. I want someone who understands this dynamic and I feel validated that this behavior isn't all in my head. This is rock bottom. I know this. I can't continue my marriage as it is. My husband says that he understands this. He says that he's ready to do the work. He says that he's prepared to face the hard truths and all of that. I want to give him the opportunity to prove whether that's true, but I don't know how to approach this dynamic. I love him. I made vows and I meant them. I want my marriage to work, but I don't know how to trust my own feelings anymore. What the therapist said is slightly true. However, he has never been abusive and has never raised his voice at me or lifted a finger. I do not fear for my safety in any way. I understand the concern. I'm just trying to be as neutral and clear as possible. I do believe that he has narcissistic tendencies. He does gaslight and manipulate, but over lesser issues. It doesn't feel intentional, but it doesn't feel like he believes that he practices these behaviors. This step towards therapy was his willingness to work on our marriage, but not specifically to address narcissism. There was a lack of trust because we came to an agreement and planned to build a savings, and he unilaterally decides when to use it without talking to me. There's no drug use, no gambling, no cheating, no late nights in bars, none of that. I have access to our accounts. It's just that we have no savings no matter how many times I've tried. But now what? Do I stay with this therapist? This feels messy. I just don't want someone to agree with me and jump on my husband. That feels like a dirty win. Or am I just doing what I usually do and putting his needs ahead of my own? I'm just conflicted about everything.